I wasn't that impressed with it. I thought it was one of the least exciting ones I've ever watched. Didn't find it very exciting. And I thought it very predictable. When all the guys came out and ganged up on Roman Reigns, I knew that he was going to come back out later. It just seemed so easy to figure out. I don't know. It was not as suspenseful. Some of the guys that I thought were doing really well in it, and I was kind of glad they were in there, like AJ Styles and Kevin Owens, they seemed to get dumped out. And even Big Show and, Mark Henry. A lot of guys just got thrown out like they didn't mean anything. And I think anytime you have a Royal Rumble and you have a guy as big as a Big Show, you just throw him out of the ring. It doesn't mean as much as it should for, the legitimacy of wrestling. You got to have some logic and common sense in it. And I don't know. The whole ending was pretty. Even when it got down to the last four guys, I was like, I was surprised that they were the four guys. That they were going to sort of pin the whole, the hopes of WrestleMania on one of these four guys, or two of them anyway. And I didn't like the decision that Triple H, surprise, put the belt on himself again. It just seemed like, I don't know, it just showed a real lack of imagination, if you ask me. I was trying to think about it, because I know they were sort of hamstrung with so many guys being injured. But I think you gotta go with the one the fans want the most, and if you judge the reactions in the ring, AJ Styles got a really good reaction throughout the match. I thought Roman Reigns had a tough time keeping the fans behind him, and they, when Vince and his crew kind of came out and put a beat down on him, it was kind of like, really? Are you going to do that again to try to get sympathy for this guy? It just seemed tired. It's too much of a constant. And that just was really, I thought it was really nothing special about the thinking behind it. I just don't, nothing really sat well with me last night. Nothing that I watched made me go, geez, I like the thinking behind that. There's been WrestleManias and things like that where I go, this was really well thought out and really well done. But last night, I thought the whole thing, a lot of times it was really boring. A lot of the wrestlers were sitting in the corners, pretending to get, like suddenly they're all like out cold, or it almost looked like she got pillows for them. They were just napping while somebody else was coming out. It's just, if you look at old Royal Rumbles back like years ago, I watched some this past week where I was in years ago with even the one where I won with Lex Luger. There's no dull spots. There's a lot of action, a lot of stuff going on, and no one really knows what's going to happen. And even last night, the way that that isn't it kind of convenient that Triple H came out number 30, and Brock Lesnar comes out number 27. It just seems like, are they really pretending that it's random? Or is it just somebody going, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to build into it this way. And there was no real suspense to any of it. And I don't know, I just found they send out guys basically to do all the work. And at the very end, all the guys that got all the glory were guys that, I don't know, just seemed really staged. You see guys like Big Show, biggest wrestler in the world, come out and get eliminated within 30 or 40 seconds of being in there. And not even by 10 guys tipping him out. It was terrible. He even got tied up in the ropes when he fell over and almost didn't get eliminated. It was awful. And poor Roman Reigns, I don't know, it's like they could have cut his head off in the middle of the ring and nobody would have cared. If anything, they would have cheered. I watched 3 hours of wrestling last night, and I got very little out of it. I felt very... And when it was over, I thought, that was the worst Royal Rumble I think I've ever watched. Maybe maybe a couple of years ago, there was another lousy one. I just really had higher expectations, guys. When I say all my criticisms, I want to be honest. I have a lot of respect for the talent. I think there's a lot of great wrestlers out there.